So, Bill, tell me, what's next? What are you working on now?
My 20th film
Nice.
starts shooting in Hawaii in 2 months.
Awesome.
It's called Croaker. It's sort of like Tremors. It's a comedy monster movie.
Great movie.
And it's about a bunch of, like Tremors, it's about a bunch of quirky people in Hawaii who have a problem with a giant frog.
Nice.
And the thing about the giant frog is it's kind of cute, but it's got this tongue that comes out, snatches people up, and eats them. So,
Which is a hazard.
Yeah, so they have to do something about it, and they're not really equipped for that. So it's like Tremors. It's got a lot of humor in it, and because when you're doing a story about a giant frog that eats people, it's hard to make that serious.
It's called Kroger?
Croaker.
Croaker.
Croaker, yeah.
Croaker.
And underneath it all, it's got an environmental message because it's basically about how we all depend upon each other, and each species depends upon the other species to survive.
Right.
And if you take something out of the equation, the whole house of cards falls down. So it's got that going on in it, but I think most people will watch it for the giant frog eating people in the comedy.
Right. Very cool.
And then got like a new spec trip. It's from last year, but I just did a quick run through on it called Volatile that will probably go out. It's about a guy who is downsized from his manufacturing job. That's one of my things is because I come from a blue collar background. I don't ever want to see a movie where a guy works in an office building again. I want to see movies where guys work in factories, where guys dig ditches. So that ends up being sort of my side of the thing. You don't see movies like that too often. So this is a guy that gets his factory's job is sent overseas along with every other job he's qualified for because they're all overseas. And he gets his last unemployment check, goes out, spends it drinking, meets a woman in a bar. They go to a motel, wakes up the next morning with fresh stitches, and the first thing he says to himself is,
"Oh my God, they took something out of me."
Yeah, except what happens is the phone rings. That bitch stole my kidney. The phone rings. The phone rings, and his voice on the phone says, "We planted an explosive device inside of you. I'm activating it now." And he looks down and it says 59 minutes, 59 seconds. And now he has to do whatever the voice on the phone says or else he will explode.
Wow.
And now this guy who basically has, petered away his life, because he spent like 1 year sort of feeling sorry for himself, now has 1 hour to live and 1 hour to clean up all the problems in his life, to say, to make peace with his ex-wife and his estranged son and all the things that were never issues before because, we have forever to live. Now you have 1 hour to live. What will you do with that hour?
Nice.
And so meanwhile, he's got to figure out why me, what's going on. There's a larger story behind it.
Interesting. I like how his ex-wife and his son, that's good stuff.
And then basically
good human stuff.
Yeah, basically how this story came about was, what if you only had 1 hour to live? Or what if, we see movies all the time where people are dying of terminal cancer and it takes them weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and they have to make peace over those weeks. And I thought, what if you got 1 hour and it's like every second counts now? And, I think all of us have had times in our lives where we've done nothing for long periods. And I had spent a long time waiting for something to happen. And I thought, no, this is wrong. You can't wait for something to happen. You have to make something happen. And in this case, this guy reaches that point where it's out of his hands.
Yeah.
He's got to resolve every single emotional conflict, life conflict he has in 1 hour.
Wow. Oh, I like that. Okay, cool. All right. Well, Bill, thank you very much. I'm David Mulligan with Writer's Block at the Virtual Channel Network. We'll see you next time. Thanks.